GETTY Tom Davies scored a late equaliser to rescue a point for Everton Saints only had time to kick off again after they saw all 3 points disappear after a cruel deflection saw Tom Davies' last minute of stoppage time shot beat Alex McCarthy to rob them of a victory. Half of the team sank to the Goodison Park turf, hardly believing their fate after Everton scored with only their second shot on target. And while the draw lifts them out of the bottom 3, they're only above Swansea on goal difference and still 2 points behind Huddersfield. So Mark Hughes could still need another win to avoid Southampton joining his old club Stoke in a double demotion. Dusan Tadic was Saints' saviour with 2 goals in their win against Bournemouth last weekend. And the goal scorer turned provider, beating fullback Cedric Soares on the overlap. His cross went beyond all the Everton defenders but sub Nathan Redmond, on for the injured Mario Lemina at the break, timed his run perfectly to plant his header beyond Jordan Pickford. Saints now may have to avoid defeat at the Liberty Stadium on Tuesday night, and it could still all go down to the last day. Related articles: Getty Nathan Redmond gave Southampton the lead and they will have to travel to Wales without Japanese defender Maya Yoshida after he was sent off with 10 minutes left for a second yellow card. Only a couple of managers have ever been in charge of 2 clubs relegated from the top flight in the same season. Ron Saunders, Birmingham City and West Brom, suffered 30-odd years ago, and, a year later during the 1986-87 season, Celtic's European Cup winning skipper Billy McNeil was the fall guy as both Manchester City and Aston Villa dropped out. There could yet be 3 bosses in that unwanted exclusive club. With Stoke's fate finally sealed with their defeat against Crystal Palace, Hughes arrived at Goodison knowing he had to win another game in a row to ensure avoiding the same fate. The decision to appoint him was a gamble given his uninspiring record in the early weeks in charge of a new team. He certainly hasn't been a firefighter like Tony Pulis or Everton's Sam Allardyce. Getty Southampton players were devastated with the result. Despite moving out of the bottom 3 in his first 8 matches at Blackburn Rovers, Fulham and Queen's Park Rangers, he won only one league game at each. At Stoke it was 2 from 10, and only at Manchester City did he manage 3 wins in the first couple of months in charge. Saints can thank the fixture computer for giving them a couple of games on the run and that have nothing to play for. Everton showed absolutely no ambition and looked as if they'd already parked their deck chairs on the sand at Ainsdale Beach, until Redmond shook them out of their lethargy. Booed off at halftime after another insipid 45 minutes, they couldn't find a worthwhile shot on target until the 92nd minute when McCarthy brilliantly tipped over Leighton Baines' free-kick save for a long-range Tom Davies fizzer that whistled past the post in the 4th minute and a Sank header that landed on the roof of the net. Everton never carved out a worthwhile chance. Hughes played it safe with Liverpool fan Charlie Austin up front on his own, and the striker did create an early chance, leathering a shot from outside the area straight at Jordan Pickford, who made the save look far harder than it should have been with a spectacular punch clear. Getty Mark Hughes and Southampton are still in danger of relegation. Austin, Saints' top league scorer with 7 despite a long-term injury that kept him out for 3 months, knew that he could have given his team a major boost had he hit his effort either side of the keeper. At least his effort encouraged Saints, and Pickford had to fling himself to his left to keep out Oriol Romeu's low shot and in a flurry of activity in the Toffees' box. But until Redmond's enforced arrival, there was no real punch in the Saints' attack either. The winger was always willing to take on the Toffees' defense, and he almost had a second with a driving run that ended in a corner, and as Saints relied on breakaways, he clipped another effort a foot or so over Pickford's bar. Everton's lackluster display frustrated their fans, and there was a punch up close to the director's box that led to one supporter losing his shirt and others being led away as the mood at Goodison became increasingly fractious. Related articles.